There we go. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Arm Wrestling Tonight. This is Hollywood Mate Connelly with the double biceps. It is in the contractor legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. And we are appearing on camera right now. The man to my right, it is on my right this time. It could be to the left, depending on which screen you are looking at. It is the co-host, the co-founder, the co-breather of air, the co-wearer of clothes in this very virtual room. It is the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Cristo. It is the Siberian bull. It is Thunderlips, the ultimate male. It is the winner of the Dave Stockbridge of the Year award, the illustrious award held by the illustrious man, held with the illustrious beard. There it is. And it is your friend and mine. It is Dave Stockbridge. Stockbridge, welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that very warm welcome. What an outstanding, what a very energetic opener to the show as well we've got there. That's amazing. We're almost looking professional there, Hollywood Matt Connelly.
That's
Absolutely
right.
Fantastic. And we are joined by a very, very special guest. He is the man between He's not between us, no. He's on the outside of the screen. But he is the man behind Armdruk is Grut, and he was on the screen.
Well, he wants to be in the middle, I think.
He's got a case of the Terence Hoppermans. He has faded out. There has been a blackout in South Africa. We do have to expect that. But I think we're going to get him back any moment now. But
he was there for 25 minutes with no issues. And the second we go live, he disappears.
Bang! So Francois Stip, I think, is the best way to pronounce his name, and I'll confirm all of those details when he comes back on screen. But we've been talking to Francois off screen for the best part of the last half an hour and had no technical difficulties whatsoever. But he has now just faded away from us. And I'm sure he'll be back very, very shortly to tell us about all things South African arm wrestling. And there's a whole lot going on over there at the moment. He was filling us in just before we jumped on air. Hollywood Matt Connelly. He's still getting over AWE Grand Prix 3 on the weekend.
Absolutely, yes. It's so much fun, and I've got all of the Titans tournament videos to cut together as well. And it's one of those things when you have a huge arm wrestling event day like that, and you're looking at, and people are like, "Oh, you remember this match?" And you're like, I can't remember any of the matches. There's so many, hundreds of matches all that happened in one day in a course of 4 or 5 hours. You're trying to remember one particular moment. It's like, did that happen? I don't remember that. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to go back and sort of relive and go, oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, there was, like I say, so much going on, and of course, the adrenaline of the moment. You were coordinating things, so you're on the computer, you're working out the brackets, you're making sure that things are running smoothly during that whole tournament. Of course, you've got the adrenaline dump of just having presented on the mic. You were commentating throughout the Grand Prix and the super match with Rika and Brett, and so all of that going on in the lead up to it, all of the nerves and excitement of the night before, and then of course, at this point in time, you just start to recover, but then you've got to go and edit for about 7 or 8 hours. So.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like when you go on an excursion at school and you get to go and do something fun, and then you got to spend the next week like writing about what you did, and you're like,
yeah. I don't want to do that. Can we just put it in the memory banks and leave it at that. I'm hoping Francois can join us again. That's disappointing. It was right at that critical moment, wasn't it? It was.
You got scared off by the intro video.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was just too much energy for him. I don't know. But I'm very, very impressed by that video, by the way, Hollywood. That was absolutely outstanding. So for those people that have been asking us about the footage, we can confirm that it is in front of a major TV network at the moment, and that we are just waiting on their say-so as to whether or not they're going to do something with it. And if they are, then we might not be in a position to release the footage right away. And if they say no, we don't want it, then the good news is everyone's going to get it like pretty much by the weekend. So so we as soon as we got it all sorted out, what we're going to do is that we're going to premiere it. I think we're going to just announce that it's going to be premiered on the YouTube channel and give it a bit of hype, a little bit of build up, and then here he is. Francois Stip is back with us from Armdruk is Groot, and he's going to explain to us what Armdruk is and why it's Groot as well. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So good to have you back with us, Francois. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you joining us here on Arm Wrestling Tonight.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for having. Humbled to be in your room. So thank you so much.
So Francois, tell us a little bit about. We'll start off with the brand. So Armdruk, I'm guessing that means arm wrestling.
Yes, that's right.
And is, I think we know what is. I think that's translatable. And Groot. What is Groot?
Big.
Big.
He's big.
So arm wrestling is big.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We've got a thing going on in South Africa that all the music shows are, music is big, Afrikaans is big, so yeah, it falls into that category. Yeah. It's basically why we.
Now Armdruk is Groot as well. That's huge, and so it sounds like you guys are doing pretty much. You're the AWE of South Africa. You are that elite level of professional arm wrestling that and have been establishing your brand over there over recent times. We're just looking over some of the photos of some recent events and some catch ups and to get together. There's some big lads there. My goodness, oh, look at that young man there. My word. So we've got some similarities in terms of what we're both trying to achieve with Armdruk is Groot and with AWE, but maybe just step us through the South African scene and how it sits at the moment.
Well, Dave, we've been on a national level, for forever. We've never reached the top, but we get our athletes the opportunity to be in a pro league in the country. That's why we started Armdruk is Groot, because you get a guy that's been reigning for 10 years. And then also there's a difference, obviously, like in any amateur side that you arm wrestle in weight categories. So the arm wrestles, the top 10 guys never get to really arm wrestle against each other. And we created that platform where they can come in and arm wrestle the bigger guy or the smaller guy, like John Bazent, he went in as 90, I believe, for the years, and then he won his class, and then he just beat everyone in the world. So we got the same thing here. We got a 70, 80 kilos, but he can beat a guy that's 130 kilos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a wonderful platform for the arm wrestlers of Africa to showcase their strength.
And obviously born out of your personal love for arm wrestling. And when did all of that begin for you?
Well, 16 years ago, I started arm wrestling. For many years, I fell in a category with Terence Oppermans. I was always second for many, many years. I just love the sport. I've forever been interested in taking South African athletes to the next level because I know them so well. We close friends. We've been arm wrestling against each other for forever. And I really believe that we've got so much talent in South Africa, so much talent that never gets out on a board to showcase this thing.
Mm-hmm. And what was the scene like back 16 years ago? Were clubs a thing in South Africa then, or how did you stumble into arm wrestling apart from, or was it through your personal relationship with Terence?
No, it was actually met him. My brother phoned me one day and he said, "Listen, there are a few guys with arm wrestling tables because we used to arm wrestle on the table like when we started out at school and." He said, "You must come and enter. It's only $50. Come and try." And I went there. I met Terence. There was a couple other guys. And the smallest guy there was 70 kilos. His name is Peter Engelberg. He stays in New Zealand currently. And I always against him, and he just played with me, you know. So I got really intrigued with the sport, you know how it is. And yeah, I started from just fell in love with the sport and started doing it. But that I must tell you, about 8 years ago, we were all very stupid in South Africa to arm wrestle. We didn't know what does pronator mean, supernator, all those things. And well, luckily, as all everybody knows, there's so much footage on YouTube. And then obviously we had parents, there's parents going overboard for 18, 20, 90, 20 times. So he came back and said, okay, guys, you must do this, you know, go heavier. And then, yeah.
And so when did you decide that it was time to, I guess, get involved and establish Armdruk as Groot? Was that a natural extension of what you're already doing at a local level, or was this a conscious decision to elevate the standard in South Africa?
Yeah, well, 2023, I started SAF, which is the current federation, Arm Wrestling Federation, South Africa. You know, I went from there. I got SASCOC registered, so that is in our country the one thing that can fund you in arm wrestling. So we got all that done, and then after 2023, with my business, I got too busy and I gave it over to someone else. And last year, I always wanted to do this, you know, create this platform where I actually did it many years ago. I started a top 10 thing, so it was always in the back of my head, and yeah, it just worked out. I got enough sponsors to do it because I'm in business myself. I got the money to do it, and I just put my head down and just went for it. And it's just wonderful how everything turned out as I'm sitting today. You're really blessed.
And do you do tournament structures over there, or is it more super matches, or is it a combination of both?
So we started out taking the top 10, which I believe was the strongest in the country, put them together in a super match format. After that, we put them in a round robin format. So it was over 100 matches each. Arm wrestler, you know, arm wrestler against each and other arm wrestler. And that's how we could set them out to see who is 10, 1 to 10 in the country. And now this year, we've opened it up for qualifications. So we've opened up for the rest of the country to come in and try to take those top 10 off their podium. So we are busy doing it. We split it in two. We've got Cape Town, which is far down in South Africa, and we right up here. So they're doing two qualifications left and right. We already did one right. We're doing the left one 8th of May. So by end of May, we'll know who the challenges are for our current top 10.
Wow.
And in July, we want to put them all together to the same format. Have them against each other, and then round robin. And then after that, we'll definitely know that these are definitely the top 10. They've made it through. They've been challenged. There's no one that's been left out somewhere.
So it's almost like you've got a Northern Conference, a Southern Conference, to use American football terms, and then you're looking to bring them together, and then out of that, you're going to get your top 10 rankings, and then they're going to be the guys that you pit against the best from around the world, or maybe even the Southern Hemisphere. Who knows? There's rumors. I don't know. So that's really interesting. So this is just really whittling it down, and through that process so far, have you uncovered some new stars of the sport that you didn't know were out there?
Definitely. With the right-hand qualifiers, the guys walked in and they shadowed the sun. And when you take their hands and you touch their arm, it feels like you're touching a leg. And I have to tell you, these guys came out of nowhere. They've been arm wrestling for quite a while, but I've never realized that because they're so far that they have grown in such big men. You know, we had two guys came back that I used to arm wrestle with when we were still like in our 20s, and they come back and they weigh 130 and 150 kilos. Rowan Quirken and Dion. I mean, it was absolutely insane. It was absolutely insane. I really enjoyed it. Such good arm wrestling. Um, yeah, I get goosebumps when I think about how we are competing in our country against each other now. It's really everybody loves it.
Yeah, well, it's so exciting. And are you noticing the age of arm wrestling getting younger and younger?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the new talent that's coming in the country. Look, our level has progressed quite a lot in the last 10 years, and you get new guys. I mean, when I was active about 2 years ago, I was pretty strong. I could be like top five in the country, and then a youngster will come here out of somewhere, and you grab you'll take you right in the deep waters in a hook, and you feel like, oh no, then
Yeah.
you have to flip and battle to pull him. So yeah, South Africa's got talent.
And
He's got talent.
I guess we've
A
had
lot
first-hand
of young guys
experience of.
coming in, that's-
Yeah, we've had
Sorry,
first-hand
Dave.
experience of that talent that's been coming out of South Africa with Rickard and his brother Duban, who are just outstanding young talents. And I mean, if that's just a taste of what's to come, I think the arm wrestling world should just start trembling now because the South Africans are coming. And amongst some of that talent, who are some of the names that the international community need to know about because they're on their way and aren't too far away from that elite level?
I would tell you, Terence Opperman is our number one. He's always been. Um, we had Hanku now win Terence for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Terence came back and ripped his bicep off, literally. Um, Ankunel is very good. Koos Fourie he's the level that he's reached. The guy just arm wrestled when I had ball there. Um, he's just amazing. His brother as well, Nikki Fourie. Then there's John McKenzie who comes up, Gerard Strongman.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ludwig Slettler, wonderful arm wrestler. We got Raymond Kuhn, which is there on the screen now. That he's 70, 80 kilos, but what a powerhouse pound for pound. You can see him there arm wrestle. That big guy there on the left is, wrestle him, and he actually gets a pin on him. And he's been arm wrestling for 12 years as well.
Wow.
It's wonderful. So, yeah, but I'll say the top 10. Most of the top 10 guys you see on the screen or on our social media, all of them are really outstanding.
Yeah. And Matt's on obviously on your YouTube channel at the moment. There's a whole stack of content out there. So if people do want to go and check that out for themselves, and they certainly should after the podcast. Unbrook is a Grut, and that's arm wrestling is big for the rest of us. And I think just South Africans are big by the looks of things. What are you guys eating over there? My goodness.
The whole country is 70%, 60% farms. So our meat is, I think, almost the best in the world. We eat a lot of meat. You can look at that. His forearm, it's like, yeah, he's got a 54 forearm and a 57 bicep. There's Robbie Roos. Robbie Roos, massive. There's Terence and Rowan.
Wow.
Yeah, even Jock Hill there, they're all wonderful, great arm wrestlers. Been long in the sport.
Good looking bloke on the left towards the end there. So you're still you're still keeping active by the looks of things. You're still on the tables.
Now and then, I'm mostly focusing not to compete in my own tournament this year and last year. I set out when I said I'm doing this. I'm not gonna,
beat everybody. Don't want to keep beating everyone and taking your own prize money. You're a lovely guy, very generous of you, Francois.
I am training, but not that hard. I'm focusing more on establishing the brand and getting it out there and helping the athletes to be recognized in the world. You know,
Well, it's a
such
tremendous
wonderful.
job you're doing, and the branding looks spectacular. I love the black and yellow. I think it's very it sets you apart from the rest of the world. It's very clean. It's obviously it's obvious to us that you've got a very keen business mind because you understand the value of separating your brand from everyone else's, and looks like you're enjoying tremendous support from the local community, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the world starts cottoning on to what is going on there in South Africa. You're doing a tremendous job. Hollywood Matt Connelly, we're at the 20-minute mark. It might be time to delve into the comments and see what the good people have got to say.
Well, there's it's gone off the rails, as Angie is saying. But Lucky Wood spent 16 minutes refreshing the page so that she could be first beat French in the Drew, and she did win the race today. She got the first 3 comments in a row. It's a triple threat there. Lucky Wood, she says, I did it first, and she is indeed the winner today. And French McGee is in. She says, good evening all, and always great to see French in as well. Did a tremendous job singing the national anthem at the AWE Grand Prix 3 event on the weekend. There's some funny things coming up I've got to get to, because it starts getting a bit crazy. The Drew is here, and he says that he was supposed to be asleep by now, but he has decided to stay awake, which is fantastic.
Yes! It's the only reason we do the podcast at this time. Drew,
exactly right.
It's to keep you up until the next arm wrestling podcast starts somewhere else in the world.
Exactly right. And Lucky says that Groot is the tree from the Guardians of the Galaxy. That is correct. I am Groot. I'm drunk. It's Groot as well.
Yes.
And Grant Law, who also did a fantastic job helping us out with the public relations side of things for the event on the weekend, and is a very active SA Titans arm wrestler member, also a South African. That's right. And
former guest and friend of the podcast.
That's right. He says it's worth mentioning that Francois taught a certain Lasabota to arm wrestle. So there you go.
Is Lass's last name one of those classic South African names that's almost always pronounced incorrectly by everybody outside of South Africa? We'll say both. Boita. We can't get it right. If we were to commentate anything that Lass is competing in, we will say it different every single time.
Well-known rugby players was called Maas Botha. So we all related, and we have with Las Botha. It almost sounds the same.
Last Botha.
There you go. Lucky asks, do the refs yell "I am Groot" instead of "winner"?
Maybe. I don't know. No,
I don't think so. Drew says that Matt is Groot. He's all wooden and moves as fast as a tree on the table. Thanks very much, Drew. What is it here? Drew, that joke leaves a lot of room for improvement. The Drew says, Siren, that your presence is so powerful. I think there was a bit of conversation between the two of them there. Matt likes to bark "go" to as well. This is a lot of pun jokes here. At least he's not a beach about it. He's rooted in giving everyone a fair start. And French says that is terrible. It is, but the Drew can't help himself. He continues here with his endurance can be a real nightmare on Elm Street for some pullers in later rounds. That's great. He can outlast so many pullers that you want to pine after his abilities. He's a great trainer for the saplings in the sport, planting seeds of knowledge. Ergie here says, I challenged a tree to an arm wrestling match, but it had too many roots in strength training. Wow.
Very good.
Well, there we go. It just goes on like this.
Hey, Francois, you know who we're talking about, Groot, that little character out of the movie?
Yes,
Groot?
yes,
Yeah.
It
So,
looks like a little tree.
yeah. People aren't being disrespectful. They're just trying to be funny. Actually, they're
right.
actually being funny.
I've actually had an app when I started designing the logo, and I put in the AI app, Armbrek is Groot, and then this thing came up. Obviously.
Oh, that's
No, I
great.
can't use that. They will sue me.
I can see it now.
Dominic Lawrence has made a non-tree comment here. He says that Francois has enormous forearms.
Yeah, I think that was well noticed when you had your arms crossed a little earlier, like this. There we go. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, are we going to see you on the international arm wrestling table sometime soon, Francois?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'm 43. I think I still got it in me.
Well, 43 is young in arm wrestling.
Definitely, yes. Definitely. But I'll come after. All my friends should be there first. Then I'll come.
Yeah, then you'll have somewhere to stay. That's good. That's good thinking. I like that. I like that thinking. Well, it's been really it's been great getting these insights into South African arm wrestling, and it doesn't matter if we're talking to the Tahitians, the New Caledonians, the guys in Singapore, Greg and the team over there, or to yourself in South Africa. There seems to be a really a similar tale in that there's several key individuals who are really zeroed in on giving great opportunities to that talent that's working its way through, and it's wonderful that somebody like yourself has stepped into the breach and has decided that you'll be that person that provides that platform for that next generation of athlete to progress and hopefully make arm wrestling a sport that they can make a living from. And all credit to the great work that you're doing over there with Armdruk is Groot, and we can't wait to see what comes next. And we'd love to have you back on the podcast to keep us updated with how these tournaments are going and how that top 10 is sorting itself out on both sides of the country, and seeing how all of that comes together. I think everybody would be keen to find out more about what's going on now that they've learned a little bit today.
Wonderful. Thank you guys for having me. Dave, Matt, it's really been a blessing. And God has been on this arm wrestling venture, and that's why I'm here today. So I really feel blessed and overwhelmed. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Thank you. And thank you for all your great work that you're doing over there. And you're flying the flag, and you're a fantastic ambassador for the sport. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Francois Stip. Can we get it maybe a double bicep pose, or is your or are you
He's
more,
the double forearms, I think.
That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. There we go. I think your forearms is like like what Matt Connelly's got with the double biceps. I think you are now the forearm man. There's no doubt about that. We caught him just as the screen is frozen on his forearms, which I think is the perfect way to end the podcast. Oh, we've got him back now. Absolutely fantastic. Any final thoughts or comments that you want to quickly throw to before we go away, Hollywood Matt Connelly?
Great jokes in the chat there. Always good to see lots of people chiming in, and fantastic to have Francois on the show as well. And we know South Africa is full of killers that currently a lot are unknown, and we would love to put the spotlight on them and get them worldwide notoriety.
Absolutely. So thank you very much to Francois. Thank you very much to everybody in the comments as always, and we'll look forward to bringing you more arm wrestling tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.